What's up, everyone? It's the interview queen Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
This is M-Dog20, Matt Cross, and you're listening to True Heel Heat.
All right, hello, True Heel Heat. I'm the AEW World Champion MJF. Just in case you're deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or since you listen to this podcast, or you're listening to True Heel Heat, and I apologize for that.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for our NJPW Royal Quest III review, breaking down this past Saturday show from London, England, as only we can. And of course, if we are here talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, I am joined by the master of ceremonies, the MC for the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. It's your boy, J-News. How you doing, J-News?
It is a fine, crisp fall day here in the city of New York. Woke up with my Tootsie Toes all frozen and such. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But as I always like to say, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your good brother J-News. We're back at it again here. Me and the man, SP3, the best tag team in the business, talking that New Japan Pro Wrestling, as we always like to do. One thing I'd like to say is thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for getting us to that number, that 10K. We finally got there. True Heel Heat, the entire team. I can't name everybody at the end of the day because I don't know everybody, but it is what it is. No, I'm joking.
Jesus Christ.
I'm joking. I'm going to get so much heat for that, but it doesn't matter to me.
They're gonna watch this back. Don't worry. You're much better than Jimmy, who says that he doesn't like anyone except for I think he said Robio, like 3 people on the team. He said he only likes them. He doesn't even like me, the guy who does the review with him every single week and has known him for nearly 2 decades. He doesn't like me. He likes everybody else.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. It's all love. But thank you, folks, for helping us reach the 10K. Keep riding along with us so we can hit all these other milestones and such, and such, so that we can continue to bring you the goods across all these different platforms and keep talking this wrestling as we like and love to do. But Royal Quest III took place over the weekend, this past Saturday. We got some things to talk about, SP3. Got some things to talk about. And hopefully we'll continue our interactive commentary here with our folks. No one's joined us yet, but I'm sure they'll join us soon.
Of course.
So,
and if you're watching us, remember, if you're joining us live, drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, just because we hit our goal for the year end doesn't mean that the train is stopping here. We got to keep moving. We're on our way to 20K is our next goal that we're trying to hit. 20K by the end of 2024. So you can help us along with that. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, if you're with us live, you could sound off in the live chat. We love to hear from all of you. We love to interact, hear your thoughts on the shows. So sound off and let us know what you thought about NJPW Royal Quest III from this past Saturday. If you didn't watch the show, then let us guide you of what you need to watch, because I will save you a bunch of time, because
There you go.
You don't need to watch the whole. You don't need to watch.
No.
You don't
No need to watch the whole thing.
No. We got one of our great Patreon backers in the chat, Christopher Kidd, who says, "We live, baby." Yes, Christopher, thank you so much commenting in the live chat here. Keep it coming in the live chat. If you're watching us on demand, let us know in the comments down below. You guys have been doing great as of late with the comments in the comments down below. Let us know what you thought about NJPW Royal Quest 3. We would love to hear from you if you had any live experience being in London. Our good friend Sanal, she was over there in London, as well as NK from Wrestle Things. He was in the at Royal Quest. So we got a bunch of folks that were out there. So if you were at Royal Quest and you're watching us live, sound off in the live chat. Let us know what you thought about the show. How was the atmosphere? I got like NK telling me it was one of the most like best atmospheres he's ever been a part of, especially for the final two matches that we're going to get into here. So a lot for us to discuss and unwrap, but J-News, give us your one word to describe your feelings on Royal Quest 3.
One word. That's always like the toughest thing that you always give me to do.
Yes. Try my best.
Stumping me, man. I tell you. One word. I would say I'll use a phrase here. I would say that the ends don't justify the means. And I'll go literal here. Look, man, the last two matches of this event were amazing, right? They were great. Fan freaking-tastic. We didn't expect anything less. But the rest of the show, man, the hell was going on Saturday, bro? The hell happened, man? Either matches got cut short, or outside, like I was telling you off camera, the Leon Slater tag match. I was watching those boys. I didn't know that the other young cat that was tagging with Leon Slater was 17.
Yeah,
he looks like a grown-ass man in there.
He looks like Carmelo Hayes if you look really fast. Like, if you look really fast and you're not paying attention, he looked like Carmelo Hayes a few times.
Yeah, man. He was out there suplexing and slamming cats, and I was like, oh man, this young dude 17. The future's bright for this young man. But outside of that particular highlight in the tag match, I said to myself, I'm not too sure where we were trying to go with the rest of these matches. Guys, I love the United Empire. It is the United Empire's 3rd anniversary. Big up to them and the boys on the team. But that tag match, man, I don't know what the hell. Like, Catch was phoning it in. Catch was phoning it in there in that match, man. I don't know what was going on there. So it was tough. Tough is the word. Tough is the word, and not in the positive connotation way. Just tough to watch.
Well, damn. I won't say tough to watch. It was. I always cheat and I say mix. I always put more than one word because I put a dash in there or something like that. So I'm gonna put another dash and put mixed bag.
Mixed bag.
Well, mixed bag.
When you say mixed bag, I think 50-50. This wasn't 50-50.
No, it wasn't. I mean, there was 3 really good to match of the year candidates, and no, there was like 4 really good to match of the year candidates, and then the rest of the card was, just short of what we were expecting from most of them. But let's get into the actual show. Keep on sounding off in the live chat. Let us know your thoughts. Of course, we're trying to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But as always, we are a self-funded channel here. We always need your support. So if you want to give back and show your support to what we do here, you can do that with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. We will highlight it on screen and give you our thoughts on what you have to say in regard to NJPW and Royal Quest 3. Let's kick off with the opening contest. It was a junior heavyweight matchup, J-News, as you had Taiji Ishimori going one-on-one with Robbie X. Robbie X has been making a name, kind of the king of the light heavyweights in the UK scene, and he was given a lot in this matchup. And I love the opening kind of segment of this matchup when they were kind of just speeding through, running back and forth. It was you saw the explosiveness of both guys. Robbie makes a rally, and he's very acrobatic, with dives to the outside, a lot of back and forth action throughout this matchup until Ishimori is able to hit the bloody cross to pick up the 1-2-3. Taiji Ishimori picking up the victory. This was one of the matches that I thought was good on the undercard. This was a good start to the show, giving Taiji Ishimori a strong victory after his return at Destruction and getting him ready, as it seems, if you listen to the commentary, that it seems like he's going to get the opportunity at the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship coming up on November 4th at Power Struggle in Osaka. So I gave the match 3.25 stars. What did you think?
After I watched the match, I said to myself, this one's for the business. Reason as to why I say that is because Taiji Ishimori let Robbie X get on his shit in, and Taiji still won. Yeah. So at the end of the day, he put the kid over, and he let him do what he had to do out there to showcase himself, and that's always respectable. So 3.25 stars, I think, is a solid grade on your end. It's this. I did not dislike this match at all. It had been a while since I watched Robbie X. First time Taiji Ishimori was back in the ring since his neck injury back in March. So good to see him back. Still walking around rather stiffly as he does. So it is what it is in that particular estimation. But he's moving well at the end of the day, right? So it's not he didn't miss a step or anything like that. So that's something that I was looking forward to in that regard. And now that we know he will be getting the title shot on November 4th against Hiromu, we will see how that breaks down.
I'm very interested in that matchup. I don't expect Ishimori to get the win, but I hope that they can have a great match as we have grown accustomed to them. But we'll see how Ishimori is feeling come November 4th. We got Vala B in the chat joining us saying this was fun. He also says, like I said, I was high as fuck watching this show live. Had to watch it back sober. It's even better. I've only watched this show back once. I think I caught it like in the middle live, and then I watched the rest of the matches that I missed before that after. But I do need to watch the show like in full from start to finish as well, because man, there was like so much great action on this show, and so much action that fell short of expectations, and one that fell short of your expectations, J-News, was our next match, as you had El Desperado going one-on-one with Trent Seven. Before the match could even begin, Seven entered the ring with a steel chair. Desperado answered back by getting a chair of his own. The two men went back and forth with chairs before spilling to the floor. Desperado gained an advantage on the outside after Seven nailed him in the head with a steel chair. Desperado cuts him off with a chair shot to the head of his own. Seven controlled Desperado for far too long with very kind of plotting rest holds and stuff like that. Desperado fired back with the suplex, but Seven responded with a good-looking power driver. Seven attempted a dive from the top rope, but he missed. Desperado hit Seven with a big spear, but now a desperate Seven bumped the referee. Then he landed a low blow and the Emerald Flosion, but only got a 2 count. A frustrated Seven then lifted Desperado to his feet, only for Desperado to get pretty much the mousetrap pin for the 1-2-3. El Desperado picking up the win here at Royal Quest. This match going, I believe, just over 8 minutes, and this wasn't good.
No, it wasn't.
1.5 stars.
Yeah,
1.5
which it killed me, man, because I'm a fan of Trent Seven. Obviously, we are Despy fans here on True Heel Heat, and to see that kind of match out of these two veterans was kind of like, I'm not too sure if they just felt they had to do certain things within the time frame that they had, but it didn't come together. It didn't come together at all. From the vantage point of a jaded and sarcastic wrestling fan as I am and stuff like that, when you rip a man's mask off Like it should get or like not off, like when you rip at it, right? There's a certain amount of violence that comes with that match. There was no violence in this match at the end of the day. So that to me was like a misstep. Not to say that Despy has to freaking bleed and stuff like that, but it should have been the perception at least should have been of a more hard-hitting, more violent match, and it wasn't that. Even though they tried to give the illusion with starting with the chairs and the swinging battle and all that stuff or whatever, it just didn't come off that great. And to Vala B's point, Trent was not great. This is probably like, so if I'm gonna say this, out of the last 7 years I've been watching him, my experience watching Trent Seven, this is probably the worst match I've seen him in. If I'm being honest, so that has a lot to say for itself. You know, and for Despy to win with a roll up kind of a victory, it like for these two gentlemen who are known for a specific style of wrestling, it was a letdown. It was definitely a letdown in that regard.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't know what happened, but yeah, it just seems like Seven. And that's what I said to you on the preview. I was like, Seven has kind of been hit or miss since he left WWE, and it was a miss this time. Next matchup was one of the matches we were looking forward to the most on this card, as you had the Future going against the Future, as Yota Tsuji went one-on-one with Luke Jacobs. Gotta mention Luke Jacobs, man, lost a lot of weight since like the 11-year anniversary, which was just about a month ago. Like, it's ridiculous the amount of weight that he lost, because he looks like totally different. And I called him I on True Hill Heat when we were previewing Royal Quest. I said that he is a shorter Gunther, and him losing weight kind of fit in with my analogy. This matchup went a back and forth, a lot of hard-hitting offense in this one. But honestly, this was a matchup that it wasn't disappointing because either guy was disappointing, really. Both guys looked good at times in this matchup, but it never got a coherent kind of story to it. It was a lot of big, hard-hitting, high-impact offense, but there wasn't like a coherent kind of narrative to the whole matchup. And then it just kind of ended as Yota Tsuji rallied off a bunch of his offense. He retook the advantage, landing a big suplex, and then he hits the Gene Blaster to get the 1-2-3. This match just going over 9 minutes. Yota Tsuji picking up a huge victory following his loss to Will Ospreay at Destruction in Kobe. So good matchup here. I gave it 3.5 stars. Probably the better of these sets of first three singles matches that we saw in this show, but we could have gotten more if they got like 5 more minutes. What did you?
Yeah, I think the length of time of the match is really what did it in at the end of the day. And to your point, just them not creating the overall in-ring narrative for what it is that they were doing. They weren't able to. I don't think they had enough time to put that together. If I'm being quite honest, like you said, high impact stuff. It's good to see, Luke Jacobs in that kind of a spotlight role, because you know how big Tsuji is now at New Japan and things of that nature. And I'm gonna agree with you here, man. Like we should have gotten more out of this match, and we didn't. So it was another one of those matches that let down in the sense of we didn't get enough time with this match, you know. So not every match lets down in the same way. Obviously, this wasn't the same kind of a letdown that we got from the Trent Seven versus Desperado match. But at the end of the day, we didn't get enough of these two young guys who are going to be the future of professional wrestling over on that side of the freaking earth. So I don't know who booked this event necessarily. I can't necessarily blame this on Gato. If I wanted to, so sorry guys.
I'll blame it on Gato because he didn't give them enough time to I'm always gonna blame Gato. I'm sorry, folks. We got in the chat here. We got G Loke, the homie G, saying keep it 100 at J-News. We also got Vala B, who says this was clearly not Trent's style of work and it was a letdown. We also got Vala B, who says my problem was that it kind of ended. We're talking about Tsuji and Jacobs.
And Jacob. Yeah, it just ran. Yeah, the same. It was the same thing with the Ishimori match. That shit just ended. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, what just happened? It was like it was a wet fart. You know, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. We should be doing better for these guys. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely agree. Next, we had our first championship bout on the night, as you had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships defended by the Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney, against the duo of teenagers of Leon Slater and Cameron Kai. Aforementioned Cameron Kai, only 17 years old, Leon Slater, only 18, and these guys are just so much energy that they brought to this matchup, and they made a great kind of balance to the Bullet Club War Dogs, who are more traditional, gritty, aggressive heels. To you have the spirited kind of young men who are acrobatic, flying all over the place, using their speed and agility to keep the champions on the back foot. But I love the War Dogs because they're able to maintain such a traditional tag team structure in getting the heat, building to the hot tag, and it elevates everything else in the matchup. And I love the finishing sequence when everybody is in the ring. You get the Bullet Club War Dogs with their kind of high-low spear combo, and then you get Drilla Maloney hitting the Drilla Killer, which is one of the best finishers in all of wrestling right now. I just love it every single time he hits it. We get the Drilla Killer on Slater, followed by them double teaming up on Cameron Kai, hitting the full clip for the 1-2-3 to retain the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. This match just going over 12 minutes. Bullet Club War Dogs retaining. This was the honestly the best match before we got to the double main event. I give it 3 3/4 stars. What did you think?
I'm with you, man. This is the best match of the night so far, up until this point. I can't get mad at these Bullet Club War Dogs, these young cats, man, doing a damn thing. Drilla Maloney, along with the one and only 100 proof Clark Connors. As we all know, if you don't watch enough True Heel Heat, he's my leader of the Bullet Club War Dogs. So at the end of the day, we're gonna keep it there for a reason, right? Because the real leader didn't get a win in his match either. So let's keep that narrative going. Yeah, they tried to. I understand they tried to keep the show under 4 hours, Malabi, but at the end of the day, it just kind of misfired in for a few matches, and so that was that. Yeah. At the end of the day, look, the kids got their shit in. It was good to see these the two young men, Kai and Leon Slater, get their shit in during the match, showing off their skills and stuff like that. Very, like you said, very good energy, high energy, bringing that contrast in energy from the Bullet Club War Dogs, who just like to piss over everything. So, like figuratively and literally, like when they're doing their freaking antics in the ring, it's like, what are they? Oh no. Anyways,
like let's don't do this. Let's not do this.
So that was definitely an entertaining match. So looking forward to more from the Bullet Club War Dogs and the young men in this match, be it Leon Slater and his tag team partner in the future in the wrestling business. I mean, 18, 17 years old, respectively. They got a long way to go, depending on how long they want to be in the business. So, hey, man, props to them for doing what they're doing.
Absolutely. Next up, we had 6-man tag team action as the Gorillas of Destiny, El Phantasmo, Tama Tonga, and Tongaloa went against the Bullet Club War Dogs of David Finlay, Alex Coughlin, and Gabe Kidd. This matchup started with a bunch of brawling, furthering the rivalry between the two factions. But this fucking match died a fucking death when the War Dogs went on the heat segment of this matchup. It was just so slow, and it kind of killed the crowd a little bit. Tama tried to get them back with a hot tag, wiping out all the War Dogs with the help of VLP. The pair land dives to the floor, leaving Kidd and Coughlin on the floor. Back in the ring, G.O.D. continue their advance. They basically circle Finlay, hit all their finishers. We get a gun stun, we get the sudden death, and then we get the ape shit for the 1-2-3 as Tongaloa pins David Finlay here. And goddamn, did they nuke David Finlay's push already? Yep. He loses the Never Openweight Championship and then takes the fall in this matchup. I was like very surprised by that result, but this matchup was not very good. I give it 2 stars. It went 10 minutes, 41 seconds. What did you think?
I thought that the extra 2 minutes that this match got should have gone to Tsuji and Jacobs. At the end of the day, this was not good at all. It was really plotting. It got sloppy at times. I was like, all right, guys, come on, like wrap it. Like y'all are pros. Get at least be, in and out of there. Be succinct. Be sufficient. Be efficient with your time. Like, and if we didn't get that, and I was like, all right, nah. We need to work on this. We need to work on this. So that's my commentary on that. As I said, David Finlay, he's a complete joke. I don't necessarily know what's going on. As we could tell, G.O.D no longer believes in David Finlay.
Seems like that. Seems like that after this result. I was like, God damn.
So,
what happened?
I think that they continue to listen to True Heel Heat. I think that's what's happening, and they
listen
understand.
to you. I don't besmirch the name of Finlay as quite often as you do.
Yeah, it's him. It's him. At the end of the day. So what good has come from him at this point? The character change really hasn't done much for him at this point. He was the never openweight champion for a spell, and he didn't even do what he didn't even elevate the belt. He didn't even do that at the end of the day. Now Tama's got it. Now we're waiting for Tama to go against Shingo. We're hoping Shingo wins, because at the end of the day, it's like, come on, man. Shingo Takagi, the champion at any level. That's just gonna be banger after banger after banger. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, man. This. I don't. Next match.
Next, we had tag team action as the United Empire's Great Okan and Francisco Akira versus 2/3 of the Reiwa Three Musketeers, Ren Narita and Shota Umino. I will say the split version of Narita and Shooter's song. Never do that again, please. I heard complaints from people that were there live, and I did not like it watching it at home. United Empire were the first to strike, working to isolate Narita. They had an extended heel control on Ren throughout here. Ren was able to make the hot tag to Shota Umino, who took out both of United Empire, coming in looking good. They United Empire eventually retook their lead, then isolating Shooter before Ren hit the ring to save Shooter, and then we get some tandem offense from them, hitting the heart attack at one point. Okan was forced to hit the ring, but also fell to the babyface pairing before Shooter took Akira's head off with an elbow strike, and then landed the Death Rider to pick up the 1-2-3. Just over 10 minutes for this one. Shota Umino and Ren Narita looking good as a duo and shaking hands to celebrate their victory following the matchup. I thought this was another good tag team bout. I gave it 3.25 stars. What did you think?
It did what it was supposed to do, right? When you're looking at how a show is structured, this match did exactly what it was supposed to, and the other ones didn't lift the two previous matches we were talking about didn't fit the bill. So I'm not too sure if it was just folks not being in the mood. I don't know how things were booked or what the discussions were in the back, but this match did what it was supposed to, and I'm fine with it at the end of the day. More Shooter and Ren Narita, why not? Let's see what they do in Tag League. See if they can grow as a duo, as a pair, and see what it is that they can do. As for the pairing of Okan and Akira, we don't usually see that pairing a lot, so it was interesting to see how they would work together. And I don't necessarily think it went too well. Obviously they took the loss, but from a combination standpoint and them working as a tag team, I'm not too sure how that'll go over in future endeavors. Maybe Hanare in some spots or something like that, or obviously Jeff Cobb is the freaking man. So it is what it is. But yeah, we'll be talking about those guys in a bit.
Next up, you had more tag team action, this time a preview for Wrestle Kingdom 18, as you had Bushi and Tetsuya Naito of Los Ingobernables de Japón versus Doki and Sanada, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion of Just 5 Guys. This matchup, though, I hope was not a preview of Wrestle Kingdom, because this was a total fucking coast. We got a little exchange between Naito and Sonata. We got, Bushi. He seemed like he was the only one that kind of worked a little bit hard in this matchup, but everybody else just seemed like this was a house show, and we're just gonna bring about 2% of our 100% in this matchup. LIJ picking up the victory with the Destino on Doki. This match going just about, I believe, another match that just went under 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 29 seconds. I was just very disappointed by this matchup. I expected this match to at least be good. I didn't even get that. We did it after the matchup. Naito and Sonata having a stare down to preview Wrestle Kingdom. As Sonata was about to try to leave, though, Bushi would spray him in the face with a mouthful of mist, and Naito then threw Sonata from the ring to stand tall with Bushi. What did you think about this match? I gave it 2 stars. Being generous here.
Sometimes you want to look for the silver lining in a lot of bad situations and or unfortunate situations, right? And in this case, the unfortunate situation being what has been this latter part of Sonata's title reign. I'm not necessarily knowing what the hell's going on at this point. This coast work that we saw in this tag match. What was this? Now, mind you, I called it, right? I said Doki was going to get pinned. I said that. I said LIJ was going to win this match, but I didn't expect this. Like the majority of the time we get T-shirt Naito, but this was even worse than usual. At the end of the day, it's like Bushi's doing the majority of the work. Like what's going on? What is going on? And then we've grown to really have an affinity for Doki, and they do this to him. It's like, why? And then Sonata gets misted. I'm here like the post-match antics. I'm like, he gets to. It's like they don't respect him at all. He doesn't get any respect. It's like, right. What is he? Why is he the champion? Why is he the champion if you're not going to respect him at all? He's not. Right. He hasn't garnered anything. Mm-hmm. He hasn't defended it against anyone out there. Mm-hmm. What's going on? What is going on?
So, J-News, are you sitting? I can't tell.
I am sitting, as a matter of fact.
Okay, you're sitting. So we can have this talk. We can have this very. I didn't know if you were ready to have this very uncomfortable Sonata talk. Because if you listen to Ace Techers on WrestleIn.com this week, me and NK had the uncomfortable Sonata talk. So we're also here for all of you. So I hope all of you are also sitting down so we can have this uncomfortable Sonata talk. But this is very uncomfortable because J-News is the #1 Sonata fan. But I think that it's about time. We are in month 6 of his title reign.
That is correct.
And the title reign is not going to end until January 4th. If that. We need to have the honest conversation that SP3 was right and that we should have probably ended this at Dominion. Not because Sonata couldn't be a good champion, but because we are now ending this first reign where I don't think on January 4th, not even J-News himself will be wanting another Sonata title run. Like, honestly, we're at that point. If Gato would have done what he did with the 2 other previous LIJ world champions who only got 2-month reigns. And if you remember in 2016, when Naito gets a 2-month reign and then losing it to Okada, we all were like, man, we want Naito to get the title back. And even with Evil, with that being a bad title run in 2 months, you still have the certain people that be like, oh, it wasn't that bad because it was only 2 months. But when you go 8 fucking months and not much has happened, not much has been done. And the whole point when you look at his defenses, it looks like the whole point of this was for him to prove he was like the second best in LIJ because he pretty much beaten everybody that was in LIJ with him, except for the main person that could have gave him a great matchup for his fucking title reign, Shingo Takagi. It's like, yo, it's mind-boggling. Like, what was the point? What was the fucking point? What was the point of him going undefeated in the G1? Because I guarantee you, we would be looking at Ren Narita a lot differently if you would have gave him a win in the G1 over Sonata. There was many. You could have gave a win to Suji in the G1 over Sonata. What was the fucking point of putting the title on him? What was the fucking point of him going undefeated? What was the fucking point of all his title defenses being against former LIJ members? What was the fucking point? So the talk is, do we have to admit that we probably should have ended this earlier so we could be like, so the J-News of the world, the Sanals of the world, the people that wanted Sonata to have this title, they could have ended it in 2 months and you could have all been like, man, Sonata should have got a better run. Sonata deserved better. Instead of when this ends on January 4th, we're like, whew, thank God Sonata's done as champion.
It's hold on a second, brother. I'll be right back.
No worries. Well, I'll have to talk with the people in the chat. I got J-News so emotional he had to turn off his camera. It's like, damn. But yes, you gotta feature a lot of your comments right now. We got Safet in the chat. He says, congrats on 10K. Thank you so much, Safet. I appreciate the love. We also got Christopher in the chat who says, talk about it, Sid. I'm just saying, like, I like Sonata, but I was never one of those fans of New Japan that wanted Sonata to be the world champion. Because I'll be honest with you, I never found Sonata that interesting. And honestly, all they did with that great character evolution that we've seen in the New Japan Cup is they just changed his look. Nothing about him has changed as a character. He had this whole feud with Evil, where Evil stole the championship. He wasn't being respected as championship, and the only thing that gave him the moniker and the status of championship was the title, and the person that stole it was his former tag team partner who betrayed him just years ago to get the top spot. Now he has a top spot, and that person is trying to steal it from him, and he brings no fucking emotion. No change in the character at all. He doesn't work more aggressive. He doesn't work more vicious. Nothing. It's just Sonata. It's just Sonata, but he doesn't have blonde hair now, and he doesn't wear tights. There's no difference from Sonata. We see a great character evolution over a month in the New Japan Cup, and here we are 6 months later, and they've completely forgot about it.
You know, I'm never afraid to admit when I'm wrong. Vala B made a point earlier. Sonata hasn't been booked great. Thanks, G. Hit that like button, folks. Keep on watching. He hasn't been booked great. He wasn't, quote unquote, given great opponents. To your point, him not getting a match against Shingo, I thought was like it was freaking criminal at the end of the day. Like, if you can be in the ring with Shingo Takagi, who's still, to me, the best IWGP World Heavyweight Champion that's been since the inception of this new belt. If he could have hung with Shingo, I would have said to myself, if Sonata can really get the emotion of the crowd while he's in that ring, like a Tanahashi, like a Shingo, like Okada, then we'd have a better reign. To your point, SP3, this hasn't happened. Right? They gave him the character arc at the New Japan Cup, and they went right back to Cold Skull Sonata for whatever reason. He did, right?
I feel like he did. Like we could blame the booking all we want.
Sure.
I said like the booking, if the whole point his defenses were against Hiromu and Evil and how do you not get Shingo in there? Like, Shingo is the person that if you're going to do it against former LIJ members, you need to get a Shingo defense in there. And he doesn't even do that. He
They
doesn't do
didn't.
that at all. So the booking, was not good. And booking him against Jungle Boy at Forbidden Door furthered him not being viewed as a champion on the level of a Jay White or a
Right.
Kazuchika Okada, a Will Ospreay, those guys. Yes, those things are booking. But as far as what he brought, I don't think that's been up to par as the world champion.
No. I agree with you because he hasn't really brought much. Though, like I said during the preview, the only thing that I've been able to tell from just watching his matches is that he has a bigger sense of urgency in the ring. Outside of that, that's really all that there's been. And there hasn't been any true character evolution. There hasn't been real emotion brought to anything, and that's what I thought we were gonna get here after him leaving. LIJ, but even look at the group, even look at the crew, right? The Just Five Guys crew. By majority, those guys are really stoic characters. You know, you don't get that much emotion out of Tai Chi until he rips his fucking pants off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's just a gimmick at the end of the day. By majority, he's not really that much of an emotional wrestler. He gets tired. He gives you that sense of, oh, is Tai Chi is he gonna win the big one? He can draw emotion from the crowd. But Sonata hasn't reached that peak yet. You know what I'm saying? Like watching him interact with the crowd, like, you know, turn the lights off and then him giving the gift or whatever the case is, like that's cool. But it's like, what else do you have to even get the crowd on your side outside of that? You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't draw them in. So that's the part that kind of gets to me the most with Sonata outside of the booking, obviously. So it's like, yo, dude, go back to the drawing board, man. Like the look is different. I get it. Like you're supposed to be this cool, calm, like debonair type of dude with the fashion sense and all that stuff. Like from a champion standpoint, that it just doesn't work for me because there's not much more personality with it, right? Ric Flair was debonair as hell, but he was a loudmouth asshole who had to talk all the shit and back it up at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So it was one of those things, man. So it's like he's got to dig deep and find some sort of something in his personality that he can bring out that can connect with the fans, because, you know, giving them the gift isn't enough. A post match, you know what I'm saying? Like his in-ring skills are they're like, it's like I always say, it's the same stuff all the time. It's the same thing with Okada. It's the same match by majority. It's the same moves. So, you know, it's good in-ring stuff. But at the end of the day, how do you draw the fans into care? Like folks don't care, you know. So that's really what really has me up in arms about the whole Sonata reign. What's Valaby saying here?
We got Valaby who says Sonata and Tai Chi need to tag for a while and have Tai Chi build up Sonata again, because he's the one who steered up the most in Sonata to begin with. Yeah, that's true.
That's an excellent point, Valaby. I think that that should be a thing, but I don't think they're doing tag league. If I'm mistaken,
I think it's if I'm not mistaken, it's Tai Chi and Uramura, no, or I don't think they're in tag league at all. Yeah.
So, you know, maybe after Sonata,
we don't know. We don't know. They didn't announce the.
They didn't announce anything, right?
Participants. Yeah.
But maybe, like for example, if Sonata and Tai Chi aren't a part of tag league together, right? Maybe after Sonata loses the belt to Naito at Wrestle Kingdom, they can do something to that effect, right? To rebuild, to rehab Sonata and give him something different.
Techers. Just two techers.
Just two techers, right? And have Tai Chi stir it up, right? Give me more. Like you should give us more of who, you know. That's where I thought it was going, because they kept on always mentioning his first name during the New Japan Cup, and it was like, oh, this is the real Seiya Sonata, and I was like, are we really gonna get him, or are we just still getting Cold Skull? And we've gotten the IWGP version of Cold Skull with new attire and black hair and no beard. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at.
Well, next up, we had trios action as you had the NJPW Strong Openweight Champion and Ring of Honor World Champion Eddie Kingston teaming up with Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team Champion Hiroshi Tanahashi and the Rev Pro British Undisputed Heavyweight Champion Michael Oku to face United Empire's Hanare, Jeff Cobb, and TJP. Match opened up with Tanahashi and TJP with some standard exchange. You get Jeff Cobb coming in, showing off his power, playing guitar with Tanahashi's body. You get Hanare and Kingston going at it, previewing their upcoming matchup at Fighting Spirit Unleashed. Michael Oku had a sequence where he looked pretty good, getting a nice little Fosbury flop over the top rope down to the floor onto United Empire. United Empire triple teaming Michael Oku at one point, looking to put him away. It was only TJP and Oku in the ring after Oku accidentally hit Eddie with a knee strike. They were exchanging pinning attempts, but Oku was able to reverse into a quick full Nelson pin attempt to get the victory for his team. Michael Oku, Eddie Kingston, and Hiroshi Tanahashi picking up the win. 10 minutes, 39 seconds. This was there. I won't say it was bad. It wasn't bad like the Desperado Trent Seven matchup, but it was very there, and it was very much booked like a WWE 2010 trios matchup with baby faces hitting each other for no reason. It didn't even think. I thought, I was like, is he setting up Kingston going for the Triple Crown against Oku maybe? But no, they were just cool after the matchup, so I didn't see the point of any of this. What did you think?
I didn't see the point of any of this. I really didn't. Always glad to see Eddie getting work at the end of the day. He's out here internationally parading himself as a champion, as he should be. But the rest of it, what the hell, man? Like I was looking at some of the exchanges and interactions between some of the wrestlers, and it was like, we're half-assed it now. What the fuck are we doing? Like, what is this? What is going on? That phrase came up to me so many different times throughout the show. Like, what is going on tonight? Where Cats is like, they're on autopilot, and not a good autopilot. It's not like we're getting from here. We're not going from 0 to 60 in an easy 2.3. Like, nah, Cats out here coasting like 2 miles an hour, so everybody sees me type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't. I don't know. Like, I'm actually looking forward to Hanare versus Eddie. I think that their match one-on-one is gonna surprise a lot of people. So I'm looking forward to that. What if Albie said something about Tana rizzing on Oku's girlfriend?
No, yes, he was. He definitely was.
Okay, so I'm older, right? I don't necessarily know what the hell is a riz. What is that? What is that? What is rizzing? What does riz stand for? I don't know this term. Where did it come from?
I always, when I saw rizzing, I always just replace the R with a J, and I thought that was what that meant. It's a slang term for using a vaporizer to ingest THC. That's what it says on Urban Dictionary, apparently.
I don't think that's what it
is. But no, it says if you want to riz someone, you want to flirt with or charm them.
Oh, so it's flirting at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Okay. What the fuck? What's really, people? Come on. Anyways, but yes, that's what Tana was doing with Oku's girlfriend. Yeah, man. So just to mention this about the match, Oku got no shine, not none. He did Fosbury flop. That was it. That was it, son. That was it.
Hey, no love. American Radas, and they got the win.
Yo, first of all, that roll up, come on, son. That was so like anticlimactic. I was like, what? He just out of nowhere. Like, the roll up has become the RKO. It really has. So, you know what I'm saying? So, the most devastating move in all of professional wrestling, as Simon Miller likes to say. But it is what it is. Nah, man. This match wasn't for me. It just wasn't. I've seen a lot better from all of the participants in this match, and this wasn't it. So I'll say that.
I'm just hoping Hanare and Eddie deliver at Fighting
Yeah,
Spirit Unleashed.
that's the hope. That's
So,
the hope. That is the
move
hope.
on. All right, it's time to talk about the real show because the double main event was next. And first up, for the first time in the outside of Japan, Shingo Takagi versus Tomohiro Ishii. And yeah, just right from the opening bell, these two just started beating the brakes off of one another. You get Shingo gains the advantage. Ishii fights back with strikes. When Ishii gains the advantage, Shingo is able to fight back with some strike. The match escalates. Both guys try to outdo one another with suplexes, with hard lariats. Already late in the matchup, Shingo lands a big superplex to a thunderous ovation and then a chorus of fight forever chants. I counted at least maybe 2 to 3 standing ovations during this fucking matchup. Ishii answers with a backdrop driver. You get Shingo back up to his feet, leading to a sequence of suplex trading, and then both men were left grounded to a huge round of applause. After returning to their feet, Ishii hits Shingo with a superplex of his own. He gets a follow-up with a big power bomb for a near fall. Shingo holds on. He lands the GTR to put Shingo behind, and then he hits a big pumping bomber, and then the main in Japan for a 2 count. Both guys are basically on their last legs at this point. They're trading strikes again. We get Ishii. He lands a big pumping bomber of his own and kicks out at 1 after eating a second lariat from Shingo. From Ishii. Shingo gets up and hits a stiff punch to the face. We get both men back to their feet. They start trading headbutts. Shingo hits one of the I literally had shivers up my spine at the cattle whip pumping bomber that he gave us. And like, we're watching it on TV, so there was a delay on the sound. Like, you see him hit, and then you just hear a cattle whip like it was a strap. Like, kapow! I was like, oh my God. For the people there, they said that sound echoed throughout the building. And Ishii's able to kick out. We get Shingo hits Ishii with his own move, the Brainbuster, but Ishii kicks out at 1. At this point, I'm on my feet. You get Ishii flooring Shingo with a nasty headbutt. Ishii tries for his own Brainbuster, but Shingo's able to reverse, leading to a prolonged rally. And then finally, he puts Ishii away with the last of the dragon to pick up the victory in this one. My Lord, what a fucking match. This is like the definition of what a banger should be should be described as. This was hard hitting. It was intense. The atmosphere, the crowd just added to every single moment, and it just led to a closing crescendo of Ishii not able to surviving all the high impact offense of Shingo Takagi. Even after the match, the pair are just going at it, trading a couple of headbutts before finally calling it quits. Once Ishii leaves the ring, we get Tama Tonga comes down holding his never open weight championship. The crowd responded to Tama's presence with chants of "fuck him up, Shingo," and Tama then cut a promo that really couldn't hear because of the mics.
Yeah.
But the commentary tried to fill us in, and that it was made Tama Tonga versus Shingo Takagi, set for October 28th in Las Vegas at Fighting Spirit Unleashed for the never open weight championship. But this fucking matchup, J-News, my Lord, I need to watch it again because I may go full boat. But my initial reaction was 4 3/4 stars. If I was there live, I probably would have said 5 right off the bat. But 4 3/4 stars for now. I do leave room to watch it again, and I'll probably go 5. But J-News, what did you think of this one?
I mean, I'm surprised we didn't get the meats chant during this match, to be quite honest. But strong style at its best, man. That's really what it was. And you couldn't pick 2 better wrestlers to give you or define the style that New Japan is known for than these 2 gentlemen in this match. We don't get bad matches between these 2 ever. and they delivered. They delivered, and you know, to me, it just proves time and time again that whenever these two men have the ability to be on a card, they're going to put on matches that people are going to watch for. They're going to want to watch forever. And fantastic, man. Just freaking fantastic. Clap it up for these gentlemen at the end of the day. It was an amazing match. Them just continuing to go at it even after the bell rang and Shingo got the win, I thought was even more. I just added more to the story of the match because they never want to stop fighting those two guys. Yeah. And you know, having Shingo hit a brain buster during that match on Ishii, and I know that spot's probably happened times before, but just to see it happen again and an actual brain buster, like he went for the head drill, and I was like, oh man, that was different. That pumping bomber you talking about, man, that crack of the whip that you heard in delayed form, I was like, ooh, that was brutal. It was just like so man, it was good, so good, so good. With guys that folks don't put in their upper echelon of professional wrestlers, their top 10s, their top 5s, or whatever. But when you can always deliver, given the chance to see these two guys in a match, it's like, come on, man, you gotta give praise, you gotta recognize real when it's real. And these two gentlemen make professional wrestling look real. You know, man, I can't really say anything else about it, man. Fantastic freaking match. Book it again and again and again and again. You know,
I want Shingo to win the title, the never overweight title, on October 28th, and then defend against Ishii at
Wrestle Kingdom. Hell yeah, man, hell yeah. Give me that match at Wrestle Kingdom, man. Yeah, man. They like, to say the least, that they saved the show.
Right? Yeah. Like these final two matches are like far and away better than anything else on this show. You got Bala B in the chat saying it's 5 stars for him. Like I said, I'm very much leaving the door open, and I'm basically guaranteeing that after I watch it a second time, I'm probably going full boat on this, because I think the only reason I didn't go full boat is because of the next matchup. But we'll get into that. But like, yeah, I won't say anyone is wrong if they think that was a 5-star matchup. Dave Meltzer already said in the Wrestling Observer Daily Update that both of these final two matchups are match of the year contenders.
Look at it, man. Even Uncle Dave is on the boat. So, you know,
that might be the only match tastier than Ishii and Shingo at the Dome.
But they got to get Nakajima on TV beforehand. So he got
shows. You got Power Struggle. He can come out and challenge.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. Don't make it a surprise match at the end of the day. So
no. It's not Shono versus Moto. No. But yes, I Vala B saying I got the Wrestle Kingdom match for Shingo ready in my mind. Shingo versus Nakajima for the never belt at Wrestle Kingdom. I'd be down for that.
Why not?
Next up was the main event of the evening for the IWGP United Kingdom Heavyweight Championship. The NJPW World Television Champion, Zack Sabre Jr., challenging Will Ospreay, the two very best British wrestlers in the world, in front of over 3,000 in the Copper Box in London, England, and we saw fucking art. This match opens up with like a prolonged grappling, filling out sequence between the two guys. As the match progresses, Ospreay would gain small leads with a strike, but Zack Sabre Jr. would always answer with a hold. And that became kind of the crust of the story, where I said, like with Wrestle Dream, it was kind of like the story was kind of put out in front of us that Zack has a strategy, and he's always looking to go from one hold to another. And Bryan Danielson was more of a reactive technical wrestler who would take that. Will Ospreay, on the other hand, is just a totally different professional wrestler because he could go with the grappling and the technical wrestling with Zack, but he's at his best, and he gets much of his momentum against Zack when he's able to use his speed, his agility, and everything else to his repertoire. In order to break through Zack's defense, Ospreay approaches with springboards and handsprings. ZSJ still caught Ospreay time after time, not letting him get through with more than a move or two. After a prolonged struggle, Ospreay was able to prop ZSJ on the top rope, where he delivered 3 beautiful shot kicks to the head, the Cheeky Nando kicks. Then we get Ospreay was able to capitalize, building his first substantial offensive sequence of the matchup. He hits lands a big Falcon Arrow, then a twisting press from the top rope, the Leap of Fate for a 2 count. Ospreay attempts a second Falcon Arrow, but ZSJ is able to reverse and turn his attention to Ospreay's arm. So the early portion, he was going after Ospreay's neck with his history of neck issues. Then he started going after Ospreay's arm, and it pretty much became a lot of his offense that he used against Bryan Danielson at Wrestle Dream. He used here, but just the reversals and the sequences, the counters in which he was able to do stuff was just amazing. You get a sudden Spanish fly by Ospreay to cut things off. The double down, that's when we get our first standing ovation of the matchup. A few seconds of rolling on the mat allowed ZSJ to retake his lead. ZSJ lands a Tiger Driver at one point for a near fall. Ospreay tries to answer with an Oscutter, but ZSJ catches him in midair with an armbar. Ospreay powers through and gets a power bomb out of that. Then he finally hits an Oscutter, then he hits a Hidden Blade and a Stormbreaker. 1, 2, and ZSJ becomes the first man, I believe, to ever actually kick out of the Stormbreaker, because Omega just got his foot on the rope. This is the first time I remember anyone actually kicking out of the Stormbreaker, and I was shocked at that point. Both men then fight to the top rope, where ZSJ uses elbows to rock Ospreay. Then he pulls him down with a top rope armbar. He picks Ospreay up and hits a Zack Driver once Ospreay is able to wriggle free. To follow up, ZSJ kicks Ospreay in the head. Ospreay manages to catch a kick of his own, leading to a quick back and forth that ends with a leaping Hidden Blade to the face. Another standing ovation from the crowd. We get Ospreay. He hits a top rope Oscutter. We get a couple of arm submissions. We get a couple of strike exchanges. Ospreay runs at ZSJ with a Hidden Blade. He reverses that into an armbar, then into a triangle and elbows to the head. Ospreay is able to power through that. He hits basically a modified Tiger Driver 97. Then he follows up with another fucking Hidden Blade to the back of the head. Picks up ZSJ. Stormbreaker, a second one. 1, 2, 3. My Lord, what an amazing and incredible, a phenomenal match. This was sensational, beautiful professional wrestlers. When you have 2 individual styles that are just so distinct, so different from one another, but you're able to blend it into an absolute masterpiece like this. 31 minutes, 19 seconds. Will Ospreay retains the IWGP United Kingdom, United States Heavyweight Championship in a 5-star classic. Yes, this gets 5 stars. Dave Meltzer has even said he believes the content in this matchup was better than ZSJ versus Dragon. That's how great this fucking match was. A tremendous performance from both guys. Will Ospreay, very emotional after the matchup, saying that, ZSJ is a guy that has helped him so much become a better wrestler, and that might have been the last time they ever face each other because he's really not sure about his future. Then after the match, we got a little kind of like a preview of what's to come for the IWGP United Kingdom Championship, as Ospreay made an open challenge to anyone on the roster, which was answered by Shota Umino, who has lost to Will Ospreay his last 3 shots at Ospreay, including an IWGP United States Championship matchup last year at Historic Crossover. But Ospreay says if you want the opportunity, he will do it on one condition, and that's if on November 4th at Power Struggle, not only will Will Ospreay face Shota Umino for the IWGP United Kingdom Championship, but the Great Okan wants Shooter's mentor, John Moxley. Shooter accepts on his behalf, so we have 2 more matches official for November 4th. And then post-match backstage, I guess United Empire dipped on out on Ospreay as he had his post-show comments, and he was attacked by Gabe Kidd, who laid out Ospreay, choking him out, and said that he is coming for the IWGP United Kingdom Championship.
Oh man, I didn't get to watch the post show, so this is news to me. Stellar news. At the end of the day, I think that they've done Gabe's done a tremendous job putting himself on the map. But they've done him a good favor by putting him with the Bullet Club War Dogs, and at the end of the day, maintaining that attitude, that killer instinct, he's more of a Finley than David Finley's a Finley at the end of the day. So let's be real about that.
That's fucked up. That's wrong. That's wrong, folks. Don't listen to this man.
So at the end of the day, that's what that is in that estimation. I would love to see Gabe Kidd versus Will Ospreay. I would love to see that. Those British wrestlers know how to get the juices flowing out of one another. But to comment on something that happened after the match was over, as SP3 said, Will Ospreay was definitely emotional during this match and after this match, and a cool and unique, very caring moment in the middle of the ring. Zack Sabre Jr.'s ZSJ kissed Will Ospreay on the nose and walked on out, and you could tell just on the camera that that Will had a tear in his eye at the end of the day, and it meant that meant a whole hell of a lot to him, and that's the realness of pro wrestling and the amount of time that Will's had in the business and the people who have helped him along the way, ZSJ being one of those people. Love to see that. When kayfabe is broken, you understand as to how much certain people mean to one another in the business, and that was a cool moment to see. But the match itself, how many? So honest question, because I forget to count. How many of Will Ospreay's matches this year, the calendar year of 2023, are match of the year contenders?
So the 2 matches with Omega.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Naito G1 match.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Suji match that got 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it 5 stars. Him and Marufuji.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the 5-star matches that would be considered match of the year candidates for.
And plus this one,
and plus this one, yeah.
All right, so that's more than 5. So, yeah. At the end of the day,
DSA has 2 now.
So I think my point in saying that is I get the whole PWI shit or whatever, but like from when to when it happens. But goddamn, look at this kid. Look at what he's doing, man. Look at what he's doing. Without the freaking machine, without the pomp and circumstance, without having to give him some sort of a stupid gimmick and whatnot, he's out here proving it night in, night out, inside the ring and on the microphone. Like, the kid can cut a fucking promo. You can get people hype. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be some dumb storyline bullshit at the end of the day. Sorry for those WWE fans out there, but it is what it is for my preference. This is why I'm on here for New Japan Pro Wrestling stuff. You know what I'm saying? Miss me with all the gimmick crap and the writers in the back. Props to the WGA for getting their shit, under wraps and and getting back to work. But I'll be damned when it comes to pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, tremendous match. Look, man, Zack Sabre Jr. has been one of the best in the business for a very long period of time, and I think the year of 2023 has really opened up a lot of different fans' eyes to Zack Sabre Jr. So exposing him the way that he's been exposed in a good sense, right? Like giving him the exposure to a lot more eyes has been a good breath of fresh air for a lot of people, and given his style of professional wrestling, right? That classic British style of professional wrestling, and being able to put it out there on display, and it being able to like capture fans. You know, his match against Bryan at the end of the day, right? His feud with Samoa Joe. You know
I think though Zach has always been a guy that's had like a catalog of good to great matches, but he didn't have those like that one or two matches that can like define your career. When you think of Kazuchika Okada, you think about the Omega matches. You think about his rivalry with Tanahashi. If you think about Naito, you think about the rivalry with Tanahashi, the matches with Omega or Okada. If you think about Omega, you think about the matches with Okada, or now you'll think about the matches with Ospreay. You'll think about the matches with Omega. You'll think about the matches with Okada. You'll think about the match with Ricochet that kind of started all of this. With Zach, he didn't have that until the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like in the last 2 weeks, I think he's had his two greatest matches of his career. The Bryan Danielson match is the greatest technical wrestling match I've ever seen. And this might be the greatest matchup in the UK between two UK wrestlers I've ever seen.
And it was an interesting point that I think Chris Charlton made during the it might have been Chris or it might have been Gideon it was Gideon who made a point during commentary during the night. I'm not too sure if it was during the main event or the match. No, it was during the main event. Which he said this generation of British wrestlers is the best generation of British wrestlers to exist, period. Even in comparison to the guys from the 70s and the 80s and things of that nature, just because of the kind of platforms that they're on now. And I said to myself, man, I don't think Gideon's wrong at all, man. Between Will, between Zach, the WWE guys themselves, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, you name them, you know, they're out there, man, and they've been doing a good job to promote Brit Rest in their own way, you know, and you know, there's more to come from that side of the world, and I'm thankful that we've been able to continue to get that style of wrestling on U.S. platforms, because it deserves to be shown, man. Because styles make fights at the end of the day. So that to me is super important, man. Can't forget about the grizzled young veterans that tag team, those boys, man. Those guys are good, man, as well. Steve Regal's young son, Charlie Dempsey, he's gonna be good, man. He's gonna be good. You gotta give him a chance as well. So at the end of the day, this match was freaking amazing. It was fantastic. I don't think that being a match of the year contender is hyperbole. At the end of the day, Will Ospreay can do no wrong.
But can we ask the question of
what?
This would probably only be Will Ospreay's fourth best match this year.
Sure. But at the end of the day,
the two Omega matches and Naito match are better than this. But that's just saying how great those matches are. Not saying anything against this match, but I do have to ask you, J-News, what was better to you? ZSJ versus Bryan Danielson at Wrestle Dream, or this match?
Different matches. I think for me, this one takes the cake because it meant something. In the sense of, you know, where Brit Rest was in comparison to where it is, like it meant something to the business in that particular sense, right? If that's going to be the story of the match, I think that like to Dave's point, the content of it, right? I think it has more bearing on what it is that we've been watching as of late, than anything else. So I would take this match over the Bryan versus Zach match, but we're gonna get another one of those. So
I mean, I will take. I think Bryan and Zach was better only because I just thought like just everything, the story of the matchup. I just felt like that was just a little bit better, and the commentary as well. The commentary takes it up a level as well. That's like now my number 3. I would probably say this match, probably top 5, top 6. I would say
There it
right
is.
now my list would be Ospreay Omega Wrestle Kingdom, Dragon ZSJ,
Hmm.
Omega Ospreay Forbidden Door,
Hmm.
Ice Ospreay Naito,
Mhm.
Dragon MJF,
Mhm.
and ZSJ Ospreay. That should
There
be
it
my
is.
top 6 for the year.
There it is, man. 4 out of 6 ain't bad. So,
Ospreay, yeah, I got 4 out of 6. ZSJ got 2 out of 6. Brian got 2 out of 6. Omega got 2 out of 6.
So I'll say this also to add to everything else I was saying. I thought that Shooter coming out and challenging for the US UK championship, it was surprising because I was like to Will's point, it's like you already beat him 3 times. So it's like Shooter again. But
honestly, when the challenge was made, I was like, well, Shooter has to win then. Shooter has to win at Power Struggle.
You would think, right? But then it's like, oh, but this was really more of a shot for Moxley to get on Power Struggle against Okan. To see, we might not even get that match if we're being completely honest. So it was a good set for challenge. Shooter talking for Moxley was cool at the end of it. But they really should have. I think they should have just left it for the backstage attack by Gabe on Will. I think that would have. It's a fresh match at the end of the day, right? They haven't done that match as of yet, at least on New Japan television, and see where it goes from there. Not to say that Gabe's gonna win his match, and if he does, that'll be crazy. But
it would be like Will to be like, I'm gonna drop the other UK guy. He's gonna be in my air appearance.
Right, like giving him the rub in the sense of like, Gabe is this good, let's see what he can do with it. Type deal. And mind you, Gabe is a character at the end of the day, so it's like, well, playing one up, right? So I think that would be different for the UK or United States, the IWGP Championship in that estimation, to have a guy with so much character. Be the champion. It's like, and be a heel champion at that, but it's like, okay, this is going to be different.
And then that puts into question your whole Bullet Club leadership as well. So that's what you really want, sir.
No, I'm not going to hide it. We all know I don't like David Finlay. What the hell I care? At the end of the day, I care. The real boss, to me, at the end of the day, should be the more violent and more brash of them all, and that is Gabe as of right now. So so for all intents and purposes, we'll see where that goes. I don't necessarily know if it'll happen anytime soon. Would that be the Wrestle Kingdom match? Being that Will's going to defend against Shooter
or maybe Texas, they're going to be.
Oh, that's
Texas
true.
In November.
I forgot about the whole Texas thing. Yeah.
I don't know.
The Lone Star Shootout, right?
Yeah, we shall see, but that's very, very interesting that attack, because I didn't know about that until I checked New Japan's website earlier today and saw that picture up. So we shall see when Gabe's going to get his shot, but it's very interesting them setting up 2 different challengers for the title, making it very clear that I think it made it very clear to me that one of these guys are winning the title from Will.
I don't know yet. I don't.
Will is leaving. This is another.
No.
He's leaving, folks.
I'm not discounting that Will's leaving. I'm just saying I don't know if he's losing the belt to either of these 2 guys. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he ain't losing it to Omega at the Dome, so he might as well lose it to one of the new guys.
I don't know.
But that brings us to a close on the Royal Quest III show. Sound off in the live chat and let us know what you thought about the show. Give us your match of the night, MVP, LVP, out of 10. What did you give the show? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. We will highlight any comments that we see on screen here with us. Here we got Dustin, who says, not going to lie, it would be disappointing if Mox got the shot at the Dome and not someone new. I mean, I wouldn't mind Mox versus Ospreay again, because their first match got ruined by that finish.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but at the end of the day, it just right now it doesn't make narrative sense. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, outside of the fact if Will like completely knocks Shooter out and freaking Mox has to come in for the save after the match or something like that, you know what I'm saying?
Like they have to
Outside of
run an
that,
angle to make
yeah,
it make it sense.
exactly. Yeah.
Let's put our thumbs in the middle, J-News, for NJPW Royal Quest III in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board out of 10. What did you give the show, J-News?
The last two matches made this a 7. The last two matches made this a 7.
Yes. That's exactly where I'm at. I'm at 7 out of 10. It's 7 out of 10. This is literally looking like 4 out of 10 until the main events.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, this was gonna be mid up until the last two matches, to be quite honest. So the last two matches bumped it up another 3 in that estimation. So 7 out of 10 for me. Obviously, match of the night is the main event for me. SP3, go on with the rest of it.
I'll go, with Ospreay, ZSJ, match of the night for me as well. MVP for the show, I'm going with Shingo Takagi and Tomohiro Ishii for MVP.
Co-MVPs. No disagreement there. No disagreement from me there.
And LVP for the show, Sanada.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. I'm searching for it. I really am searching for it, man, and I can't really find anything else mentally that comes to mind that would get anybody an LVP shot outside of Sonata's performance in this show. I mean, I could give it to Trent Seven. We could give it to Trent Seven.
You could.
We could give it to Trent Seven. So I'm going to land on Trent Seven because this was not.
Because he refuses to give it to Sonata.
So at the end of the day, that was not up to snuff for Trent Seven. That was not a match that I was used to seeing from him at all. And it was below par. So he is the LVP for me. That is my opinion for this particular show.
And I'm gonna stand by it, folks.
I'll stand by that.
Frantic World, what did Sonata do to get the LVP? LOL? Nothing. That's the point. That's the point. Absolutely jack and shit. So you are the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. You should be doing more than jack and shit on this show. So
another point before we end out. Will took a shot at Sonata. People didn't necessarily if they didn't catch that during the promo bit, he took a shot at Sonata, and I said to myself, you know what, man? Listen, bro, like I don't know if it's his fault. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not in the offices. I'm not in the booking. I'm not at the booking table. I don't know if he's the one to blame for all this. It's just that Will's not wrong. He's not wrong. It is the International Wrestling Grand Prix Heavyweight Championship of the world. He's only defended it once internationally that I can recall.
Yep.
And it was against Jungle Boy and not Jack Perry.
Yep.
So it is. I don't even know what to say. Will's not wrong, bro. He's just not wrong. So it's been a tough deal. And on top of everything else, that's another match, right? That's another match. We talked about the match that Sonata didn't have with Shingo. Like, Sonata's not going to have a match against Will at all. That's not going to go down in a way that, like, it's like he ran from the real top guys. Outside of beating Okada, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even have an international medley match with freaking Omega. You know, it could have been a t-shirt. It could have been a Kenny t-shirt night, and Sonata could have probably gotten a banger of a match out of Kenny t-shirt, and he didn't even do that. He could like they didn't even do that for him. You know, it's like, what are we doing here? Can he hang? Can he hang? And Will put it out on Front Street. So props to Will for that. Look, man, I'm gonna stay in Sonata's corner. I'm going to be a Sonata mark. It's who I am. It's embedded in my NJPW DNA. But at the end of the day, I am not going to sit here and tell lies to the True Heel Heat Nation. Mm-hmm. I will not do that. I'm always going to try to be as fair as possible at the end of the day, outside of my warped my warped thought process towards a couple of wrestlers. I will always try to be as fair as possible. And right now, this Sonata title reign is just not it. So, you know, we'll see what happens at the end of the day. Will's got some he's got some opponents for the next couple of weeks and months. So that'll be that. As you can see here, folks, this is my Instagram handle _JONJY. You can always catch me on the Instagram there. I like to interact with everybody. So tag me. Let's have some conversations in the comments or wherever have you. Yeah.
I was just guys, I was just quiet because I was letting J-News deal with all his mixed emotions about Sonata failing as IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at SP3. You can follow me on Facebook. Follow the team. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at True Heel Heat. ProWrestlingTees.com /True Heels or foryourwear.com /True Heel Heat if you want some merchandise from the True Heel Heat gang. And of course, check out all the great content we got on the channel right now, like our Destruction and Ryogoku review from last week. Also, check out the True Heel Heat Flash It podcast with myself, Miss Chrissy Love, and Top Guy JJ, breaking down last week in professional wrestling. We also dropped our Heels Season 2 review, saying goodbye to the Stars hit show that was canceled, those sons of bitches. And tomorrow we got dropping here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel an exclusive interview with GCW and MLW star Alec Price from Starcast. So check that out, dropping tomorrow. But for J-News, it is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. This has been our Royal Quest III review. We are signing off until next time.